Hey, once again, guys, this is Anthony Gray. Welcome to Grayscale. I'm going to try to speak up this time. I'm always trying to adjust this camera to where you guys can see me. It won't be so much of a headache, you know. Trial and error. Alright. What I'm going to do is I want to give a nice simple tutorial on a mountain. Again. I was going to put some clouds in here, right? Simple clouds, simple background. But let me show you with this gel. Half KY, a little bit of water. You don't need too much of it. But when you do work with it, you have to be a little quicker than you would normally do it. You don't have to put so much of it on either. Okay, it does dry. It slows down the dry. One-inch brush here. Alright, 1-inch brush. I gotta speak with my voice toward the camera here so you can hear me. But I'll try to remember to speak a little louder. I am going to mix phthalo blue and the cad red together. Gives a nice deep color. Get it as close to black as I can. I don't particularly like to use black. Alright. I might touch it up with just a little touch of green in there. Alright. Now for this mountain that I would like to do, I'm going to I think it'd be just one large one. See, I'm going to, when doing a mountain, alright, think of your shape. The outside shape is the most important. Alright, I'll have the mountain peak a little off center up here. Keep the mountain itself, and give yourself a peak, but keep it about as rough and craggy looking as you can. But keep the edges of the mountain sharp. Alright? Nice crisp lines on said mountain, and with the rest I'll just fade away. I'm getting a little water, loosen up the paint a little bit. I'm going to press, just trail the mountain downward. Same thing here, press, just have it just disappear out there. Here in the middle, doesn't really matter. Alright, I'm going to get plenty of water here, kind of wet this color up a little bit. Here, in the bottom side of the mountain, keep it about as rough looking as you could possibly make it. Okay. It can even help with some of the texture. Okay. I'm going to just fade, let it just fade off. Even in here, just let it fade off in the distance out there somewhere. We'll cover all of that up anyway with clouds or whatever I want to cover it up with. But basically, something like this. Alright. Now, what you also have to get accustomed to, let me get back around there. I hope I didn't block you. I'll find that out in a second. With the mountain, as you see, it's just a basic flat shape. Okay. What you want to do when you do a mountain, okay, let me bring it in a little closer for you. Aim it downward and zoom in. Okay, let's stay right here. Alright. What you want to do is find, you already know where the peaks are. You got one here, you got one here. Okay, kind of one over there, kind of rounded. Alright, but one here and one here. What you want to do is find your peaks. I'm going to get some white here just to show you, just an example. Alright, with the edge. You find your peak, And whatever path you want to take with your mountain, say it comes this way and it circles around and it goes down like that. Alright, now that line off that peak, alright, straight down, curves to the lower left, comes downward. Alright, maybe you have another one. Obviously you got another peak right here. Comes down, makes a sharp left, and maybe circles that way. Goes down the other direction, like so. Alright. So let's keep it at that for right now. What you want to do is follow the path and the direction of your mountain. Alright. Whatever highlights you're going to do, on the right side, your strokes go to the right. Alright, right to the right, going downward. Same thing here. To the right, go downward. Anything on the opposite side, strokes go to the left and downward. Alright, no matter what type of strokes you use. You follow me? And we're going to do all with the brush. Okay, so now that I've got that settled, you got your base coat of your mountain. Your mountain can be pretty much any color you want. If you want a natural colored mountain, which is some series of browns and grays, okay, or you want a snow-capped mountain, which would be different type color of snow. You mix your white in with a little red or a little blue or something like that. Never pure white. Pure white would be for the highlights only. But you always mix your white with some other color. Alright, let me choose a smaller brush. I'll still stick with the flat. Just one a little smaller. Alright, I got a 1/2 inch right here. Okay, let's get that in focus. There. Got a 1/2 inch. What I'm going to do, we're going to work with the side of the brush. Alright. Now, I am going to mix this white with a little bit of the foundation color. Alright. That will be my highlight side, my lighter side of the mountain. Now it's up to you what side of the mountain you want lit. Alright, usually you follow your clouds. If the clouds are lit on the right side, you light your mountain on the right. If they're lit on the left side, you do it on the left. Alright, mine's clouds tend to be lit a little bit on the left side, so we're going to go for the lighted side of the mountain on the left. Alright, you use no medium at all. Not on the brush, okay, not on the palette, with acrylic. Alright, so let's start actually with the smaller mountain over here. Okay, you're going to take the side of your brush with that color mixed in, almost like a dry brush. You want it to be, you want some of the paint to just flake off, or not flake off, bad choice of words. But you want it to like not catch all the time. And you want it to go to the left, like that. And you can slope it, curve it. The main thing is to keep the mountain, the pattern of the mountain in the same direction. Okay, I'm just turning the brush around. Just in the same general direction. Alright, as the color, some of the color evaporates off the brush, off the paper, alright, it's going to settle in and get darker. So don't worry about that. But figure out where your highlight side is, and you're working off of that highlight side. Get as close to the edge of the mountain you can without going over. Alright. So this is going to be actually the lighter side of the mountain. So don't worry if it seems a little dark and set in. That's what the highlights are going to be used for. Okay. Now, for the highlights, I'm going to use the pure white. But it's almost like a dry brush fashion. You don't need too much at all. Then what I just did, that was a little much. So I'll just tap it on in spots. And have kind of a light touch when you do them. And usually around the rim, the edge of that mountain is where you want to catch most of your highlights. Still maintain the stroke in the direction of the mountain itself. Sort of like that. And let's say if you got a peak somewhere that's kind of hidden, you can just put one right in there where light catches off of it. Just like so. We're going to try the other mountain over here, the larger side. I'm just using a flat 1 inch or half inch brush, just the side of it. I gotta position myself where I'm not in the way of this thing. And we're gonna go right from, and you're gonna continue the pattern. And once you get accustomed to doing them, you'll start to see the shapes form on the arm. You can go straight down. You can have it cut across. Alright. Don't worry about the guideline that was put there. Okay. That you don't have to worry about. Still mixing it in with the foundation color. And you see that I'm not completely covering everything. You don't have to. Only in certain spots. As long as you're going in the general direction. But you see it, how it looks pretty much like a snow-capped mountain already. And it's just been a few minutes. Alright. You see the little gully in there? Where it swoops in? Okay, all of that just from a few strokes. Alright. Let's highlight certain points with pure white. Okay. Not too much. Still using the side of the brush. If you're a little worried about really going too far, then just do it only in certain points. Because wherever you're going to glaze this white, now that's where the peak of the mountain is really going to stick out. Okay. And also the good thing about acrylic is that you can use your hands. Okay, you don't have to worry about any type of poisoning really. And sometimes when you do this stuff, you can kind of form the mountain any way you wish. And each variance of texture that you use for your mountain will depend on what instrument you use. Okay? But like I said, I don't really want to over highlight, but just in certain areas, especially around the side where it's lit. Something like that. Okay. Obviously the lit side of the mountain. Alright. This one here needs a little more highlight than what I put on previously, so I will do the same thing again, this time pure white, not going overly crazy with it. Start right up here. And each layer that you put on is a lot less than the one previous, if you can understand that meaning. Now if you end up putting a lot on like that, take your finger, just brush it on off. Now maybe you want something up around here in between some of that. Okay, so you got a dark ridge, but you got the ridge here catching. I'll just draw a little ridge right in there. Maybe coming around like so. just like that. Alright? You got all sorts of little dips and peaks and stuff. Let's work on the other side of the mountain. Okay? Other side of the mountain, a little more of the blue and the white. But you still want it pretty dark. Okay? Don't need too much of it at all, really. And I'm gonna work now. This time going to the right. Matter of fact, and obviously you can see I'm a lefty, but we're gonna stroke around with my right hand. Show you. Go right in to the edge, light as you can, and still follow the path. You don't have to cover every entire inch of your mountain. Not necessary. Put a little bit of it in here. Stroke straight down. If you have to go into the other area, the lit area, fine, do so. Okay, it's okay. But maintain the same texture and pattern of your mountain where you're going with it. Okay. Even in here, might be some lit, some shady sides, even on the lit side of the mountain. Just here and there. Not too much. Just in spots. There's many ways to do mountains. Okay. This is just one of many. But if this helps you out, makes it easier for you, got to cross in front of you here. Let's get to this side here. Right up here, this peak. I don't want to destroy all the dark. Alright. Like I said, I'm going to shadow in some of that side in there. So if I have to go into the white a little bit, that's fine. Even in here, I'll just tap it a little bit. Let's get some shadows in there. And all this will help also when you go to put mist or whatever on the side of the mountain. Alright. Anyway, there you go. There's one variety of the mountain. Now let's pull back a little bit. Pull back, pull back, pull back. Good boy. Now, see the rim here? Alright. There's another rim here. Same one I drew earlier. And I've got a rim here I just made up while doing it. Alright. You got a little bit of one coming here, down here. Alright, now if you want to accentuate some of them that you see, alright, just give it a nice little dark shadow area. And you can just play around with this almost endlessly, really. You fade some of that color in, just like that. But you already know where the lit side is. You know where the shadow side is of it, of the mountain, okay? Let me rinse this brush out. I can step out for 1 second. I'll be right back. And let's put maybe hints of pine trees or something in there. Then we're gonna put some mist and everything all in there. All right. So be right back. I'm going to fade this mountain out on the bottom. Have mist away. But let's put a little. Work in some pine trees. Okay. What is this? Filbert? 1-inch filbert. Tapping in to a little bit of white. And just a slight, very slight touch of blue. More white. Okay. And I'm just going to tap down below the tree line here. There's a method to my madness why I'm going below the tree line. Let's go below the tree line. Get the trusty makeup brush. Remember, I have glaze on here, okay? And I'm going up into circular motion, but I'm going up into the leaf area, the forest area here. You'd have to work kind of quickly to do it. And if you don't worry about it. Okay. Still going to tap a little bit. Oh, I just need some more. Into here a little bit. Going right into the mountain itself in a circular motion. I'm going to brighten some of this. Rinse off the brush a little. Now I'm going to dip just a little of pure white. Just a little bit. In certain spots while it's wet. Circular motion. Just blend it in a little. But not totally all of it. Maybe some down in here. But you want to just give that look of clouds. Okay, all up into here a little bit. Maybe come down across here. You just want to give that look of fog or a cloud, low cloud hanging down. Okay, you don't want to totally obscure all of what you've done. Okay, that you don't want to do. Let's go into more pure white and play around in this area in here. Take your blender brush. I'm not doing it too hard. Don't have to. It gives a misty, glowing effect, and yet you can still see a little bit of the background in there. Okay. Tapping some more. I just want to give the look. I'm running out of white. Gotta put some more white in here. Just want to give the look of a little cloud cover. You can do it as much or as little as you like. Just dipping into a little more white here because I didn't have enough. Now I have plenty. There we go. This is zinc white I'm using. Okay, just so you know. And I am swirling this stuff really, really softly. Circular motion. It collects on the brush itself. It gives a nice, get out of there, nice quality of mist. All in circles. Your eyes are filling what it thinks it's missing. Okay. Now here's the difference between zinc white and titanium white. Zinc white, as you can see, is transparent. You still see what's happening even underneath all of that. And if you don't necessarily want that scene, alright, then you get the titanium white. And it will cover just about anything. You don't need too much of it either. I'll just pour a little bit out on the tube. I really don't want to destroy too much of the bottom. But I just want to show you, as an example, nothing but pure titanium white this time. Be careful with this stuff. In case you don't want any of the splatters or some of what you've done to show up too much. You use a little bit of this. It'll definitely cover it up, but it'll also cover up anything else inadvertently. So just be mindful of that. Okay. But it will cover up things. Whoops, almost went into the wrong one. All in here. Like I say, I'm not going to crazy with covering everything up. I don't want to do that. That I don't want to do. Like around the edges in here. Alright. If you want, just dip just a little bit of water into it and then make a soft glaze, and you're able to play around with it a little more. Because I really don't want to destroy all of that. Especially when it gets to some of the grooves and stuff in the mountain. Don't want to take away everything. But as you can see, maybe around here, I want it a little smoother. Some of the green is showing through, some of the green is showing through in here, but you still can make of distant trees. You still make the mountain back there. Okay, and that's basically what I have here. It's just the clouds, the mountain. That's about it. Okay, that's all it takes. You got me? No more, no less. So, right now I'm just playing around just to maybe wrap it up a little bit, finish it a little bit. I'm going to dip just a tip into the glaze up around here. Just gives me the semblance of maybe you got a cloud hanging around a little close, maybe even in here. But I got some of the glaze mixed in it. Okay. And it just helps to blend. That's all. And maybe add some swirls to it. The more you blend, the more it's going to get into the paper or the board, the canvas. Much like that. And if, I'm just playing around now, but if I want to add maybe just a touch of the back sky in there, just add a little depth to your clouds. Okay, just in certain pockets. Something like that. Just blend it in. Just keep blending. You get the mix you want. Alright. That's about it. And instead of using the zinc white, use the titanium white and highlight some of the edges a little bit. And all you want is the edges, so you just very lightly get rid of what's on the bottom. Okay. Yeah, I'm not in front of you. That's about it. Okay. Let's zoom back a little more. You can see exactly what I'm talking about. But there you go. Looks like I put a whole lot of work into it. I didn't. And you don't have to put a lot of work in it either. And still maintain a very dramatic sky, towering mountain. Still see the sharp peaks, the ridges. Okay. Where the snow catches, you got your mist and the clouds, even on the bottom. Alright. That's not difficult at all to do. Alright, just keep practicing at it. Alright. Now, even though I really don't have to put anything down here, I really don't. Not necessarily. We don't have to put anything here. You know, probably, what, more clouds or whatever. I'm just dipping into it. Like I said, now I'm just playing around, but just to fill up the paper. Okay, now I'm just playing around with this, with the zinc white, just a little bit, and just swirl it around. Zinc white stays a little more wet for a few seconds longer. But just something like this. I can actually take what I have on my brush here. Like I said, I'm just playing around, just getting rid of some of this paint. I already showed you what I really wanted to show you, which was how to do the mountain. But now I'm going to put a pine tree in there just because. I'm using the 1-inch filbert. Mixing in my red and my green together. Kind of a brownish green mix. And just to do it, I'll slap a tree right around there. Okay, and the brush is a little upward. Just playing around. As you can see, it's got that brownish type of thing happening, which is fine. Dipping into some more. And even when I'm doing the tree, okay, I am more concerned with getting some more red, some more green. No water, pure paint. I'm mainly concerned with the outside look of the tree, if anything. Okay. I like the way the branches are forming. It gets thicker as you get toward the bottom. Don't worry about the little straggles all over the place. It's okay. Now I'm going to add more green to the mix because I don't want to look at a large dead tree. So we're going to remember the highlights coming from the left. So I'm going to just tap in some nice little highlights here and there. I'm just turning the brush over. I'm not going to destroy all the brown. I'm using just pure paint right out the tube, sap green. Okay. Some of it's mixing in with the brown, which is fine. Even down here, down the bottom. Really put it in there. If you wanted to cross to the other side, some of them, that's fine too. I'm going to get it a little darker. I'm putting a little blue in the mix. Mainly for the other side, actually. I'm going to dip just a little bit into the water, just to loosen it up, just a slight bit. I got more blue and green, just for the other side here. If it seems like that side is a little more dominant, give it a chance. It'll evaporate and it'll settle down in there a little bit. I'm just, like I say, I'm just playing around because I just didn't like it to be just to look kind of plain-ish. Okay. I'm going to take flat. I'm going to mix a little bit of that dark brown, a little bit of the blue in with a little bit of the yellow, touch of the white, lighten it up a bit. I still want it a little more brown. And just a slight touch of blue. Something like that. And I'm going to put in, stroke in a little bit of the get a little trunk in there somewhere, like that. And even in that, I'll highlight it just a little bit, not much. Something like that. Just highlight it in spots. Okay? It's just me playing around. Everything else, the lesson is pretty much over. I just don't want it to be, it just bothers me to look at an incomplete picture, to be honest with you. That's why I did it. So I'm just mixing in an even darker color because I want to really make it kind of get those dark, really into the grooves in there. Even a little bit on the other side. Okay. Let me cover up a little bit of the, where I see it's too bright, I'll cover some of that up too. Now I'm going into my white and yellow. Time to highlight a little bit on the other side. Even with the white-yellow mix, I'm mixing it into the green, just a little bit. Not titanium white, this is zinc white. Alright, open up the brush and just lightly tap. Sporadically in places, but majority of it obviously on one side. Okay. Even if you got a few stragglers on the other side, that's fine. As long as the bulk of it is on one side. I can get even brighter than that. Maybe just pure white. But the brighter the color, the less you need of it. Because I really don't want it to give the appearance of snow. Okay. Like I say, even some in the shadow side would work for you. Just like that. Alright. See? Not too bad. Not difficult. Alright. Try to keep these tutorials at a reasonable time frame. At least I'm gonna try for you. Alright. Just cleaning off the brushes. If you have anything you'd like to see done, just let me know on my YouTube channel in the comments. If you'd like to try this, I would love to see it on my Facebook page, which I think a lot of you would know where it is right now, about now. But it's scrolled on the bottom somewhere around here if it hasn't already. Alright. Just rinsing off I have two of these brushes, little makeup brushes, synthetic. One's, I think it's natural hair, one's synthetic. This is the synthetic one. But I have two. Natural hair, synthetic. Makeup brushes from Walmart. Okay. I put them away. And there you have it. I will sign my name onto it. Let's see, if I still got a little dark left, yeah I do. I'll just maybe throw a bird in there somewhere in there. I'll have him chilling out. Flying around somewhere. Some eagle or whatever. Pop one right here. Give him a nice thick body. Have his wings out there quite a bit. Have a big one there. Curve the wings up. The cheap way to make a bald eagle, you do a bird that size, right? And just plop a white circle in there. And then now you got a bald eagle at a distance somewhere. There he is. Just like so. Okay? But I like, thank you for checking this out. I'll show you the full thing here. And let me know what you think. Alright? Love to hear your comments. And like I say, give it a try. Hopefully I explained it enough to where you would try it on your own. As you can see, I did the tree. Didn't plan on it. All I planned really was the mountain. I didn't plan on showing you how to do the clouds real fast. But I showed you how to do the clouds with the mixing medium. Or the, well, my little mixing medium. Okay. It's just simple water-soluble gel and some water. Okay. The warmer the room, the quicker it dries, so you gotta work pretty fast with it, but it does the trick with blending. Or you can put it into the paint itself and it extends the drying time so you can blend. Alright. But once again, thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one.